Hello and welcome to another video for all the students of Universitas Islam International Indonesia. Today I want to talk about something which is very relevant to all of you students, and this is about memory. Now, how do we remember things? This is a question that I get asked a lot of the time. How do you remember the books that we've read, the discussions that we've had, etc., etc.? So let's talk about memory. Now, one thing that's very important for all of us who are in academic work is that we need to remember the lectures we attend, the books that we've read. And often, a lot of students ask me, how can they improve their memory, especially of the books that they've read during their courses? So I'm going to give you a very simple tip, something that I learned myself decades ago when I was a student in my teens. And this is a simple memory test that we can all do. You don't need any app, you don't need your phone, you don't need any complicated equipment. It's a simple memory test that all of us can do anytime, anywhere. And it starts with this. Ask yourself this simple question. What did you have for breakfast yesterday? Now, it sounds like a simple question, but a lot of people have forgotten what they had for breakfast yesterday. And if you can answer that question, then ask yourself another question. What did you have for breakfast 2 days ago? And what did you have for breakfast last week? Now, you may find that in time, it's harder and harder to answer this question because you have no recollection of what you did last week or last month or last year. Now, why is this? This is because a lot of the time, we do things that are not terribly important to us, mundane, regular things. We don't remember when we open the door. We don't remember when we put on our shoes because we do these things automatically. And this is something that I learned, I was taught when I was a student myself. The key to remembering things is to do things attentively. Let me give you an example. Most of us have been on holiday at least once in our lives. Now, you may recall the first time you visited another place, another country, for holiday. Do you notice that when you recall that experience, you can recall it with clarity? And why is it that when we visit a new place for the first time, it feels longer? You may have gone to, let's say, Bali for vacation. And the first time it feels long. And you go back to Bali again 3 years later. And for some reason, it doesn't feel as long as it did the first time. And that's because the first time you were there, you were attentive to everything that happened around you, everything you saw, the smells, the sounds, the food that you ate. But by the second time you go there, you're already familiar with a lot of this. So a lot of these things become routine. So here's the key. How do experiences embed themselves in us? They embed themselves in us when we do them attentively, with attention, with focus. And so you will remember, for instance, your birthday last year. You may remember your first date years ago. But you don't remember what you did last week on Thursday because it was a routine thing. You perhaps just went out to buy some eggs or buy some bread, right? So this is the key to studying and how we remember. When you read and when you attend a lecture or a talk, it is important to treat it as a special event. When you treat it like a special event, when you want to go to the lecture, when you want to attend the talk, and when you want to read a book or a paper, you will devote more attention to it, and it becomes, in a sense, embedded in your memory. It makes it easier for you to recall. Now, of course, we don't do this for everything. We can't, because if we were to be fully attentive all the time, we will literally be overwhelmed by memories. So it is important to learn how to be selective when we do certain things, particularly the things related to our academic work. And that's why I always tell my students, when you read a book for your course assignment or whatever, do so with minimum distractions. Do so with attention and focus so that you can recall it. The memory test I gave you earlier is a very good exercise that all of us can do. I do it all the time. I try to recollect what happened last week, say last week Thursday. How did I start my day? What did I have when I woke up? Did I have coffee first? Did I have breakfast first? What did I eat for lunch? Who did I meet? What were the discussions that I had? Now, these things might not come back to you immediately, but in time, they will. So when it comes to memory, remember, we never really forget anything. If you really put your mind to it, you will remember even old phone numbers from 10 years ago, passwords from 20 years ago. They're all there. What's required for us to do is to exercise our memory. Your memory is like a muscle. And if you don't exercise it, it will become weak. So try this out, in the coming weeks. Try to recall what you did the day before. Try to recollect even the most mundane things. When did I leave my dorm? When did I have breakfast? Who was the first person I met? And while they may not come to you immediately, in time, they will. It's a very simple trick. It's something that I've been using for the last 40, 50 years, and it actually works. So with that, remember, one of the keys to good studying, good reading, is always to study with focus, to read with focus, and try to avoid distractions like reading your book with music in the background or TikTok playing on your phone, because these things don't help at all. It's much better to read attentively for half an hour than to pretend to read for hours and hours and hours while your mind is distracted by things going on around you. So with that, good luck, and I hope that you'll be able to try this memory test, this memory exercise yourselves.